So are these the tires that's gonna break my transmission tonight?
Yeah, probably.
Choo-choo! Hey, gotta fix that sometime, but we're still gonna send it. Here it is, either the Walmart special or the graveyard special. As hard as I'm gonna send it tonight. That's the craziest pass of my life.
Was that the craziest?
Yes! Stop building boost. Go home. You're fired. That is luck. We about to make another pass. That's what I'm talking about, baby. No. No way. It's like 11:51 at night. Today is a beautiful day. I don't know how well you can see it, but it is fantastic. Some of the best weather we've had in a long time. Right now I should be planting, but it's been so muddy that I can't even get in the field. So now I have a chance on a beautiful day to go do some testing in the Sin10. Now, I've got some 15-inch wheels in the back, some 94 to 97 stocks. Bailey Swift commented on my Facebook post looking for some drag tires. Says he's got some. We are headed to his house right now to pick them up. Gonna try and get to the tire shop to get them changed. And then we're heading back to the warehouse and we're gonna do some nut and bolt wrenching on this thing. Make sure everything's tight. Retorque the U-bolts because we've done a lot of beating on them and they're brand new, so they're gonna stretch some. And just look the truck over, top off the fluids, and then we're heading to Beach Bend. So are these the tires that's gonna break my transmission tonight?
Yeah, probably.
That's the weakest link, and I'm sure it's gonna go eventually.
Yeah,
like
it's 5-speed, ain't it?
It's 5-speed, yeah. And like I've had just street tires on it every time I've ever took it to the track, so it would break loose even then. What is in it? A 454?
454's been bored out to 468.
468.
Got a cam in.
Okay. Unreal. That thing is so nice. That's a big engine.
Yeah.
That is a very big engine.
Yeah.
Alright, here they are, Mickey Thompson ET drag. These are 28 by 10.5 by 15's.
Where's your boy at?
I've made it back to the warehouse. I'm sure there hasn't been very many times I've seen this wheel mounted with a tire quite like this. These wheels are way too narrow for the tires. Can you see the sidewall bulging out? I don't know if it's way too much, but there's a lot of sidewalls sticking out right there. It looks like they may have overinflated it some. I told them to put 25 pounds in it and I would just take it down from there. That might be 25 pounds, I don't know. Before I go down there, it's almost time to leave, but I just want to check some things, check the U-bolts, check some other bolts where we put in, transmission mount, engine mounts, wheels and tires, things like that. Check all the fluids and then head down there and hope for the best. Oh, one more thing. I bought a helmet when I was at Walmart getting those tires mounted. Doesn't look like it's anything fancy. I think it was only like $79, something like that. Probably could have got a better deal on the internet for a nicer, cooler one, but for needing to go racing today and wanting to have a helmet, this should do the trick. Here it is, just plain black. Looks like it's got a vent or so there. Brand is Fuel. Nothing fancy, but it's gonna hopefully keep me safe if something was to happen. Choo-choo! You know what would be cool to do? One of those YouTuber scenes. It looks like they're going to fit, and pretty darn good too. If my suspension squats very much, it might catch on my fender flare there, but I have air shocks on there. I can counter the squat. if needed. Worst case scenario, I'll take the flares off. But yeah, let me stand from up here and just get one little clip of it before we move on further. Yeah, that looks tough. Doing some nut and bolting, checking around on my engine mounts, and there's 2 bolts right there. That one over there is missing, and that bottom one is there. It is broke off in my block, so yay! Gotta fix that sometime, but we're still gonna send it. Gonna check the other side. Just checked all my fluids. About to go test out this new 3/8 IAT ripe sensor. I used to have my IAT sensor, factory one in there, and just hose clamped down, and I was always worried to death it was going to either blow out or the hose clamp would fall off and go inside my engine. On this one, I was gonna drill a hole, put it in there, and put a nut on there, but I ended up getting the hole so close to right that it threaded in there, made its own threads. I used an O-ring right there to help seal it and some Loctite. So at least if something fails, the worst case scenario, that's gonna blow out and I'm gonna have a massive boost leak right there and I'm not gonna be running very good. But at least nothing's gonna go on through my engine. So Bryce is getting some tools loaded up. I'm about to lower this thing down and we're heading to Bowling Green. We are pulling onto the road to Beach Bend right now. We're here, just parked. Just passed tech inspection. Gotta put my rear glass back in, totally forgot about that. We are vehicle number 108. About to take off the Trans Am wheels, go with the 94, 97 S10 swirls with the fat tires on there. There's not a whole lot of changes to be made tonight. Tire pressure is gonna have to come down because it's so rounded over. I showed you that earlier. I might adjust the assassin bars after I make a pass. I might adjust the 2-step after I make a pass. Might adjust the 2-step after I test it in a second and just see how high it is. The last pass I made here was 13.7 and that was on 8 pounds of boost, and I think I've got it set to 10 pounds of boost now, and we're on a drag tire and 308 gears, so we'll see how it goes. Drove on drag slicks before in my life. But we're going to try it. Look at all these badass cars. Show them that thing. Look like an old Mustang too or something, I guess. I don't know.
That's like the ones I hate.
Yeah, those are the funny looking ones. Okay.
Seems to be working.
Yeah, I tell you what, it seemed a little bit high. When we get up here, we'll adjust it. Just the Walmart special right here. Here it is, either the Walmart special or the graveyard special. As hard as I'm gonna send it tonight. It feels alright though. About to find out what I ran, and I think I get to find out what I weigh. 3,100 pounds with the driver. New personal best. 13.317 at 108.8 miles per hour. Man, that was crazy. 60 foot, 2.14. 330, 5.866. Eighth of a mile, 8.814 miles per hour, 85.18. 1,000 foot, 11.248. Wow, what a run. 108 miles an hour, and I'm car number 108. That's pretty cool. That's the craziest pass of my life.
Was that the craziest?
Yes, it was the craziest pass of my life. About broke my neck, dude. It was like, whoa.
Slick's hitting different.
Yeah, it did hit different, dude. What did it look like?
It looked like your fastest pass.
It was definitely my fastest pass. That was crazy.
And think about it, that's your first pass with different gear ratios, slicks. That's just getting started. That's
just getting started, dude. I didn't even have JTR put the tune on it yet. That's just finding out what the tires and gear ratio would change. Man, same injector, same everything. I didn't even watch to see how much boost I was making. I might can turn it up. I was bouncing off the rev limiter. My mind was in a million places during that pass. I tell you what, he just snuck up on me. There was 3 cars in front of me, and then the next thing you know, he's like waving me on. I'm like, crap, let's go. Woo! That was wild. Pressure was so high that it wasn't even touching over here. So I'm gonna take that down to 20. 25, he was not lying. Let's put it at 20. And then my piece of junk. That sucked. Somewhere my intake boot blew off and it stopped building boost. I stayed in it a little longer than I should have, but I don't think I tore anything up. Had to find out what happened. Well, that was probably my best 60 foot ever. That launch felt crazy. Unreal. So now I gotta go find out where I blew that intake boot off at. Starting with that one is still on. There it is. Crap. Hose clamp's gone. Let's see if we can find the hose clamp. Probably went down the freaking drag strip. on. Oh my gosh, Dakota Cougar, how did that stay? That's luck. All right, we have retrieved the hose clamp, put the boot back on there, and slid the boot on even further. Maybe it wasn't on far enough. Honestly, it might not have been. And I'm gonna get it real good tightened down on it right here, and I might even check a couple of these other ones right here. Okay. All right. This may be the last chance I get to make a pass tonight. It's almost 9:30 and I've been having to wait more than an hour in between passes. The last pass is the one where the intake boot blew off, but was definitely my best 60 foot ever. Possibly my best 8th of a mile ever. And then my intake boot blew off. Hopefully this time everything stays on there. I get to make a good clean pass before we go home. And I can log that as a success.
Look at me with a brand new Hyundai.
That's what I'm talking about, baby! Woo! Made a good clean pass that time. That's what I love. Now let's see what this truck really runs. Wasn't the best launch in the world, but it got off the line and it started moving. Wound every gear out to as far as I could. 13.2, new record. .6 in the 8th, so I didn't, that's not a new record in the 8th, but that's definitely a new record in the quarter. 2.00 60 foot. 5.658 330, 8.622 eighth at 85.51. The 1,000 foot was 11.1 and the ET was 13.217 at 106 miles per hour. What up? pass of the night, most likely. Everything's gone good so far. No major catastrophes. Hopefully this one's the same way and we get a little bit better time than we got on the last pass and we can call it a night. I messed up and forgot to film that pass, but it felt really good. Felt really clean. Hit the limiter a little bit. Gonna see what we ran. I tried to heat up the tires a little bit better that time, and really I feel like that might have been my best launch. Thank you. No! No way! What happened? What happened? I ran a 12.872. Oh my gosh! Okay, reaction time 0.582. 60 foot 1.930. 330 foot 5.528. Eighth of a mile, new record 8.38 at 88.37 miles per hour. 1,000 foot 10.801. Quarter mile 12.872 at 109.14 miles per hour. Let's go! Alright, Bryce is about to put the other wheels back on there, and we're going to do a little quick talk about what do you think could be improved upon with this truck next time around, besides the, you know, the tune and everything. What do you think I should do differently next time?
Honestly, it's just getting seat time, and seat time makes the difference just for getting a routine down, and if you get a routine down, then everything else falls into place.
You find out what works when you get seat time. Yeah. Just like today, I started out with a 13.3 and ended with a 12.8, and both of those was decent passes, so yeah. What do you think, Bryce? What's something I should improve upon next time, or could improve upon? That's
Automatic end.
now, Bryce, go home. You're fired. The truck survived. Somehow, some way, the truck survived. I did 4 hard launches at that track with those tires, and it did not break anything. The worst thing that happened tonight so far is it blew the intake boot off, and we put it back on and made an even faster pass. So, I definitely count tonight as a success. And I beat a Hyundai. Not gonna lie, it seems like my transmission has more of a whine to it now. I don't know if I'm just looking for stuff to notice. I don't know. Pretty sure this gas station's closed, but maybe the pump's open. I'm almost home now, and it's like 11:51 at night. Temperature's looking great. Oil pressure's looking great. No charging. My transmission may have a little bit of a whine to it. I'm not entirely sure on that. And I think I smelled like gear oil or something one time, so I'm gonna pull the truck into the warehouse sometime and see if I cracked the transmission housing. All the gears are there, everything feels fine, but it's just got a whine.